I love it.
Okay. Okay, we are banging it live right now on YouTube. And let's get it blown on Facebook. Okay, we are banging it live right now on YouTube. And let's get it blown on Facebook. Okay, we are banging it live right now.
Back to fool us. Let's
Okay, and last but not least, let's get Facebook up. Man, wouldn't you know it? We're having issues with Facebook. Twitter is live, Instagram is live, Facebook is screwing us over. So hang on, everybody. We'll be going try to take care of some technical difficulties with the old Facebook. So we'll get you live with Antoine. I have him right now on the actual channel. So we're going to fix these issues and we'll be back with you in about a minute. Okay, Bernadette, hang on the broadcast. I appreciate you being here. Dorsey, thank you for being on the broadcast. I know you're on Instagram right now. All my people on YouTube, thank you for being on the broadcast. We are now live on most, and I do mean most of the networks because Facebook is just giving us all kinds of issues. So we're going to still go ahead and begin this broadcast. We'll just go ahead and restream it to Facebook after we finish. First and foremost, I want to thank my special guest. I have Mr. Antoine Campbell live on the broadcast. Antoine, thank you, my friend, for being here.
Well, thank you for having me on, Charles. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now, I've been watching you for a number of years. And for the last 2 years, you've been blowing up like you would not believe. So tell me, man, what have been going on that have really caused you to just basically crush it with virtual wholesaling in the last couple of years that I've known you've been doing this stuff?
I just kind of like really focused and got serious about my craft and really studied my craft and just got good at what I was doing. So I really studied some markets, and then once I really got the markets out back, I just decided to take that education and run with it.
Now, one of the things I noticed, Antoine, that you seem like you have like a 150,000 tools and resources that you're taking advantage of. Where does
Oh yeah.
all this wealth of information come from, man?
Yeah, so typically I'm a gadget geek. Like I like to try different things, and I sit back and test things before I speak on them, and I probably perfect it before I even tell anyone about it. And I'm always looking for the next best thing as far as software and tools to kind of help automate my business. And that's what really took me to the next level, understanding how to automate things.
So let's take us down that path of automation. What does your business automation look like?
We have Podio. We have different automations in our Podio. We use our Zapier and Globiflow to work together in order to track our KPIs and track our leads and track our call flow processes. And it really helps us when we have so many different marketing channels that get fed into our Podio. So that's really a great thing to use.
Now, I noticed that you have also a virtual wholesaling, not only a course, but also a virtual wholesaling system where you would actually allow people to do cold calling with your team. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the virtual wholesaler thing came out of necessity when I went on an interview with Steve Train. And I was basically explaining to him in the same interview just like this how my entire operation was ran solely on virtual assistants to the point it was just me and my wife over here in America that represented Americans. Everybody else was Philippine or from India to
Right.
the point that we didn't have anybody else. And then I was explaining to them and breaking down things. I didn't realize that like all of these people in the real estate industry wasn't taking advantage of the virtual virtual assistants and what they had to offer. So that's exactly why I told him on the interview what we was doing. And once I told him, my phone blew up. Like literally, like people inboxing started calling like, "Hey man, can you talk about this and talk about that?" And we seen so many people struggling with their VAs that we decided to package everything that we knew and that we learned and create this whole VA mastery thing.
And with that being said, what does the membership look like right now, man? Because I know you got a ton of people right now that are joining that program.
Yeah, so man, it's people joining our program daily, like literally like in between this interview, like before you call, and about an hour ago, maybe like 5 people signed up. And
Nice.
it's two types of parts to it. The VA mastery is basically when you hire us and you pay us $929. What we do is we come into your operation and we do an assessment. We say, okay, let's see the type of scripts you're using. Let's see what you're tracking. Let's see your KPIs. Let's see your numbers, and we do a forensic investigation. And then we give our opinion on what you should change and critique. And then once we do that, we train you up to the point you're able to manage yourself, to manage the VAs. And then we introduce you to a VA out of our selection of VAs that we vetted, trained, and then we introduce you so it can cut the timeline. You don't have to go through 5 or 10 VAs before you find the right one. And we take all that and then we put it together, and then people are very happy. Our core customers are people who work in like government industries, people who work in secret office buildings where they can't bring in their phones, but they still want to be a real estate investor that generate their own leads. So they definitely love having the VAs cold call for them and do lead generation because they're not available on the phone at a certain time of the day. So we
So
get a lot of customers that.
So all what you're breaking down to me is pretty much we would say the culmination of all your knowledge, all the things you've put together over the years to create this one dominating system.
Yes, yes.
Man, that is fantastic. What can you say to those individuals who are still caught in that old mindset thinking that, well, you can't wholesale across the country because you can't see the house? How do you change that mindset from those old traditional investors?
I tell them like, the same way when you bought your actual personal residence, you was dealing with a mortgage broker. He didn't actually come out to the house you was buying to see it, to give you the loan approval and all that. It's the same exact way as a virtual wholesaler, where you're not there, but you're able to find their pain points and write them a great offer, and they don't care that you know 800 miles away because they know your company's bouncing down the East Coast, and that's what our elevator pitch is. We're a home buying service, and we buy up and down the East Coast. And people love it because they know that you're a bigger, reputable company that can actually step in and do what you say you're going to do.
How many markets are you and LaShawn in right now?
Currently, 8.
Nice. You mind giving us the 8 markets you're doing, letting people know exactly where you're looking for opportunities at?
Yeah, so we in Richmond, we in Charlotte, North Carolina, we in Harrisburg. We are in the DFW, but we haven't really opened it up all the way like we want. We
Mm-hmm.
just got into New Jersey. We in Cleveland, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, and we do a little bit of stuff in St. Louis.
So let's continue down this path. You've got these markets that you're investing in. How did it all transpire as far as let's take it to somebody who's just brand new in it and
Uh,
they're looking at your platform, they're looking at your system. What should someone brand new first think about before they decide which markets they want to get into in doing virtual wholesaling?
you first got to decide, okay, how much are you financially willing to commit to your marketing dollars? Within that marketing dollars, we always tell people look at VAs as your marketing, as a part of your marketing budget, to the point that you're not looking at it as something where you're wasting money or you're spending on an employee, but it's actually a form of marketing. Because typically we get our clients VAs at the price we get them for, which is $4 an hour. So literally, you can anybody starting off can get a VA work part time, 5 hours a day, at $100 a week. And that's a great source to spend $100 a week, knowing that a person can call 500, 600 people a day for you, as well as do admin related tasks. Once you figure that out, that okay, how much financially could I commit and invest, then you just start doing research. So the number one thing I like to do is focus on markets that people bearing sight on seeing it, such as doctors, lawyers, dentists, your cash flowing market. So if you notice, most of the markets I mentioned are like turnkey markets. So we lock up a lot of properties that less than $120,000 ARV. It's easily to move because if somebody, a doctor, a lawyer, is going to buy what they already, they just want a better return than what the stock market is currently yielding.
Got you, got you. Now, if I'm a new investor wanting to get into virtual wholesaling, what are some of the key players that I should have on my team before I get start thinking about doing this?
You should definitely have a data provider. You should definitely have a competent attorney that can kind of guide you through some things such as probate. And they just know the basis of they don't have to know that actual state law, but just enough to tell you what is right and what is wrong, to show you how to stay away from the gray areas of certain transactions. You definitely should have somebody doing SEO or somebody that's helping you with your business to the point that you producing leads online. Because most of the people that's looking to sell, they usually Google sell my house fast or buy my house
Mm-hmm.
now. So even if you're not doing pay per click, you should have some type of professional brand online. Because what happens is if a person say, "Hey, how do I know you legit or you're a scam?" Just
Right.
Google me. But if you don't have a company where they can Google and you calling from Maryland and you talking to a person saying, "Louis," they're gonna say, "Get off my phone. I don't believe this is legit." You definitely want to have it, and you definitely just want to network with the people that's virtual as well. So going to some of these Facebook groups and get to know who the key players are that's pushing deals. Because sometimes as you starting off, it's gonna be hard to find buyers. It's not because they're not there; it's just a deal or whatever they have just to close the deal.
James wants to know, what does a day look like working with Antoine in his business?
So a day for me, man, to be honest with you, I wake up about 9, 10 o'clock every day, and the first thing I do is check my phone and see what emails I got to see what messages I got from the VAs. I check in with the VAs around about 12. They log in at 11. I look at my Podio to see what's going on, if anything new transpires. I check my Facebook messages. I check my cell phone, and then I just sit back and I just read, man. I read and study, and I look at try to figure out new innovative marketing ways where I can generate leads for pennies on a dollar, like I've been doing. Check out different softwares, call different software startup companies that maybe have a new product that I may be interested in. If you actually talk to the owner himself to kind of get some feedback on how could this product help elevate my business. So I do a lot of that type of stuff. And then like during the evening times, I really sit back and just try to figure out how to produce more leads by pulling lists, stacking different lists, using the heat map to find better zip codes to target in our core markets, and just doing a lot of market research.
It sounds like, man, you're really deep into the grind of this business. What does your team look like? What is actually the machine that turns that wheel at Novak Financial?
Yeah, so right now we have 6 people that work for me directly,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have another 45 VAs that work for me indirectly. That's a part of our pool of VAs that we give out in recognition. So my direct team is I have a lead cold caller. She's basically about to be my COO. She's gonna be my virtual COO. She handles all the day-to-day operations. All the other VAs they report directly to her. Then I have my acquisition manager, the person who actually calls the hot leads and appointments
Mm-hmm.
to talk to us to the point that they make offers over the phone and send out contracts and lock up deals over the phone for me. And then I have an in-house skip tracer, so she's the person that really keeps the data claims going and really keeps our numbers fresh and up to date to the point we can have a higher contact rate on Mojo. And then I have 2 cold callers to the point that all they do is cold call and RVM and help manage the RVM and SMS campaigns we have.
It sounds like you're doing a lot of virtual marketing, a lot of online marketing. Are you also incorporating any direct mail, or is it pure virtual?
Pure virtual, but we about to start testing postcards for the hot leads we already generated as a
Okay.
follow up.
Now, I know I've listened to you on several different broadcasts talking about things, and one of the things you preach is multiple touches, follow up. Go a little bit more in
Right.
detail in regards to the following up process.
Yeah. So every list starts off with a three-touch sequence. The first touch is the RVM. The main reason why we like the RVM is because we want to see how well our data is holding up against the list. So instead of wasting dollars letting a person cold call to see what bad numbers they come up with, we do the RVMs first just to see what bad numbers come up. Then we scrape that list from the RVMs with bad numbers, and we pass that list off to our in-house skip tracers. And we don't touch that list anymore until we get back more numbers that was bad and more numbers that didn't come back from our skip tracing efforts with the bulk skip tracing. And then that's when we put that list back into the rotation follow up, and then now they get touched again with a VA. The VA do a live cold call using a Mojo dollar, and
Mm-hmm.
then once after the VAs do they live cold call dial, that's when we do even an SMS campaign, or we switch over to what we call like an email drip campaign. We do the email drips for the emails that we can get data pins to come back.
I noticed you mentioned Podio as one of your favorite tools that you use in your business. Give us some of the actual other tools that you recommend those that are in the whole virtual wholesaling scheme want to really get involved with. What kind of tools should they be having in implementing
Yeah,
their business?
my number one tool, Charles, is the sweet spot locator. Within this locator is a report that you can generate. It's similar to what everybody called the zip code hack using list source, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a little more detailed. The reason why I like it because you can type in any city you want. Say whatever I type in Baltimore, Maryland. I type in Baltimore, Maryland, it automatically generates a report on Baltimore, Maryland. It shows me what zip codes that I can wholesale in that's the best zip code, and then it gives me details about the square footage, the number of bedrooms, the baths, and then the average sales price. So as we put on our list, we able to put these filters in, and then we really detail into the way we put our list. So we won't be chasing five, 600,000 houses and zip codes where the
Right.
houses really only selling for two, 300,000.
Nice, nice. What is next up for you guys? Because I know you're opening up in different markets. You have a couple of your products that you're putting out. You're doing a lot. You got probably the hottest meetup in the region right now when it comes to attendance and growth wise. What's next?
Like, man, brother, just keep trying to get better and just keep looking back at what we could do better to provide the people, especially the people of the greater DC area. So we doing our meetups on a consistent basis. We having a movement called the REI Lifestyle, where basically it's outside the real estate meetups, and we like on the 18th we're going to Ocean City. A bunch of investors going to Ocean City to do jet skis. Then next month we might go to National Harbor to do top golfing. And then a month after that, it might be bowling. But we're looking to put on our own conference called the Drip Conference. It stands for, it's an acronym. It means double revenue, increased profits. It's definitely going to be one of the first conferences where when you go there for 2 days, you're getting mastermind quality content to the point when you walk out of that conference, you should be able to have a high level. You be able to run your business at a higher level than what you're currently running at.
Man, I love it. I just love the fact that you are basically not only just walking the walk, but you're talking your talk. You're giving it back to the community. I've been a firm believer in paying it forward, and you're doing that trifold. Now, give me a sense of, and I know a lot of people right now on actual YouTube is asking about the type of lists and stuff that you are marketing with. They want to get some of that meat information.
So,
Give them some of that
so,
information.
I'm gonna give them the crab meat today, Charles. My favorite list is the bad credit list. That list it touched on so many different motivation points. When we put that list, uh, we basically put a list of homeowners who's over the age of 50, who has an income less than 35,000, who has a credit score less than 550, and who lives in their home for at least 15 years or more. And then we take that list and then we stack it with a 5 year arm or a 5 year balloon list, and then we stack it. So what we're looking for is a person who has a lot of equity in their house, but they got an arm loan on their house, and now that we know for a fact that they can't refinance because their credit and their income is low. So there's going to be some motivation for themselves.
Oh man, you just drilled down almost 5 levels deep. So when something happens, when something pop off at 5 levels deep, that phone ring, you know you got a deal.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Man, I
That's been
love
our
it.
highest converting list. And then the next runner-up list is what we call the zombie list. It's basically houses that are in pre-foreclosure,
Mm-hmm.
but they vacant, and that's
Ah.
a dope list.
Now, I have never heard of that list. Now, you
Yeah,
just you just dropped some knowledge on me just now. I've never heard of the pre-foreclosure list of vacant. Now, I'm interested in how the hell are you finding that one?
yeah. So like, you just basically gotta know how to work your filter. So I preach to, hey man, if you sign up for like PropStream,
Yeah.
they got so many filters in there that you can say, okay, show me all the houses in pre-foreclosure, and then put the vacant filter on it, and they go
Yeah.
your zombie list right there.
You're absolutely right, man. I've never even thought of that about that,
You got,
Antoine. I got
I,
prop
I,
stream. I've never even thought
I
about
call
that one.
I call PropStream the REI box because
Yeah,
each filter is a different liquor. You can go in there and mix up any concoction you want to get a great list.
man. I have to say this, man. We are not worthy. I'm serious, man. It is a pleasure hearing you spill this knowledge. I love everything that you're doing right now in the community. For somebody that's saying, okay, where do I begin? What piece of advice would you give that person?
Begin like today. So even if you don't have a plan, just start somewhere. The number one thing I talk to a lot of people is they having a hard time with actually figuring it all out. The number one thing I tell people, you never gonna figure it all out. It's always a learning cycle. Even me, I don't know everything, but
Mm-hmm.
that didn't stop me from actually starting. You know what I mean? Just jump out the plane head first. As long as you got your parachute on, figure it out on the way down. That's always been my attitude, and it works great for me. Obviously I probably failed a couple of times along the way, but I got better results than I failed. So I'm complacent to where I'm at in life just because I use that mindset.
Now you talked about being a constant learner. Give a recommendation of a book that really opened your eyes, or a book that really points you in a direction that you would recommend someone to pick up and read.
Yeah, the John Maxwell 21 Laws of Immutable Leadership. That's a pretty dope book. The Traction book. That's a killer book. I'm currently reading a 4 hour work week book. I think that's what it's called. That's pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long book, but it's really dope.
Nice, nice. Do you vision yourself having that 4 hour work week?
Oh yeah. I vision it, but I just don't. I don't want to be real snooty like they explaining to how you got to carry
Right.
people. I think that's too extreme. But some of the teachers in there I definitely like.
Okay. In closing, any last minute pointers of information? I want you to definitely got to get LaShawn on camera now. Any last minute information you want to point out there, maybe before you go?
She's actually in the Target finding an outfit for tonight.
Okay.
We're gonna go to some REI event she wanted me to go to, so um, she's getting the outfit. But yeah, if you haven't got started yet, you haven't closed your first deal, don't feel sad. There's hundreds of thousands of deals out here. Just polish your skills up, and during the spare time that you have throughout the day, take that time to study and take action. Study, study just as much as you take action equally, and you'll see some results.
Yeah, Terrence on YouTube said he agreed with you that 21 Laws of Leadership is hard. Definitely should read that one.
Yeah, that's dope. I love it.
Okay, man. Thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate you so much for actually giving us the opportunity to look inside the mind of that guy that has really taken this area, the nation by storm, by what you're doing in this business. And I definitely appreciate your time.
I appreciate you, Charles. Thank you so much for having me on.
Take care, and like I said, we'll get this out to everybody. And looking forward to seeing you soon, man.
No problem.
Take care.